everyone, and welcome back to the Blue Wheel Ecom Exchange. During these sessions, we unpack all of the trends, tools, and other tactics that we are seeing within our company and what we're hearing from our brands. So I'm Nicole Reich, our CRO, and I am joined today by our head of D2C, Brett, and our director of owned media, Lisa. Thank you both for joining.
Hi, Nicole. Thanks for having me. Very excited to talk about this topic today. I know it's the top of everyone's mind about AI overviews and how it's impacting paid search and organic search on Google.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Happy to be here alongside Brett. He'll cover the paid side of search, and then I'll bring the organic perspective. So with AI overviews changing, it's really important to just think about how paid and organic can work together.
Awesome. So to start, Brett, from your perspective on the paid side, how are you thinking about what's changing with AI overviews?
Yeah. I mean, AI overviews are reshaping Google search dramatically. The top three spots are more important than they ever have been. AI overviews are pushing content, organic listings further down the landing pages, and the competition for those three spots are heating up. CPCs have always continued to increase on brands, and we're having to pay more for brand visibility. For non-brand terms, in particular, they're even becoming more or less efficient. So we definitely need to think as advertisers how we can show up and invest and really provide additional value for our brands.
And then what about shopping ads?
Yeah, I mean, shopping ads again are extremely critical. They provide a very visual, engaging ad unit. They sit at the very top or the right-hand corner of the Google SERP, and they grab attention fast. AI overviews are making these placements smarter too, making sure that the queries that are being triggered are showing a very relevant ad. But just like search, shopping CPCs are getting more expensive as well. Depending on the vertical and industry, we're seeing anywhere between a 5 to 20% increase in CPCs.
Oh, great. So how are you handling that with brands when we think about budgeting and how do you prioritize what to do?
No, we're looking at a full funnel strategy within the Google ad ecosystem. That means utilizing demand gen, utilizing YouTube to capture people's attention before they're even starting their searches. Additionally, we're using Performance Max that incorporates shopping and retargeting capabilities to make sure that the brand keeps top of mind within their consumer journey. And then lastly, making sure that we are very relevant in the paid search positioning. So again, we're trying to drive conversions with very engaging copy to attract those consumers through the funnel. And every point is, tailored to ensure that we are engaging with the consumer through that journey, and having that engagement hopefully will convert into conversions.
So I think that, when we think of search, it's mostly consideration or lower funnel, right? And primary KPIs are ROI, ROAS, CPC conversion, obviously, and you had mentioned that. But within full funnel, there's takes a little bit to get there, right? So how are you changing your attribution or your measurement when running those type of full funnel campaigns?
Yeah, measurement definitely comes down to attribution, especially how it affects KPIs. And utilizing, say, GA4, we're able to track the attribution path, where we're able to see their first touch point and how long people are engaged with the content and how they're eventually converted. For upper funnel, we're looking at softer metrics, such as video engagement and time on site that matter. While Performance Max, paid search, we're still utilizing conversions and ROAS as a key performance indicator for the bottom of funnel tactics.
Okay. Do you think you'll eventually see the paid placements within AI overviews?
No question about it. That's a next step in monetization. I think Google's already starting to test that in AI mode, but just like Facebook and Google, it takes time to mature. These platforms are still maturing, and introducing these ads once they mature is going to be extremely beneficial for the brand and for the advertisers itself, to make sure that, again, the consumers have a strong experience and a positive experience with engaging ads on either paid search or in the AI LM models.
Right. So, I mean, ChatGPT, all of the others. I know Lisa and I had a great webinar yesterday, and Lisa, that was a topic that came up, right? I feel like there's this thing that's out there that eventually, as advertisers, we're not going to be advertising to humans. We're going to be advertising to chatbots that then serve to humans. What do you think about that take?
I would say that some of those optimization strategies are really helping along both the human audience and the bot audience, right? So, like Brett said, looking at digital PR and some of the pieces that go into the ads, you can reuse that sort of content and think about the own channels, right? Structured FAQs, getting that high authority, and looking at backlinks as well as your paid efforts. Really, with AI overviews, reshaping how people click and engage, it gives more fuel and more content for brands to use.
Cool. Brett, switching gears a little bit to the social side, again, this is another thing we talked about, Lisa, yesterday in our webinar, how Instagram is now serving organically within Google search, right? How does that change, or how does AI overall change the way you're thinking about the paid social side?
Currently it's mostly organic, but it definitely provides a strong signal for brands that need to, double down on building community outreach, either through investing in organic programs, affiliates, or influencer strategies. Again, these efforts are becoming more visible in search results, and they'll play a bigger role in that brand discovery, especially from the organic standpoint.
Yeah, I have to agree with Brett. So, like, partnering with influencers and communities is strengthening the footprint, right? It really ensures that brand of content has multiple entry points for discovery. And with Google just increasingly surfacing the social content, looking at Instagram and TikTok, that's the sort of things that we're seeing come up in search results. So brands that are keeping their profiles optimized and active really have a step up when it comes to capturing visibility beyond their website.
And then, I mean, this is probably happening on the brand side, and I know it's happening here. Now that that's kind of a collapsed cycle for consumers, right? And we really are thinking about everything full funnel, both paid and organic. How are you two guys working together? How are you two both working together, and your teams working together on collaboration?
I mean, collaboration is critical. At Blue Whale, Lisa and I, we're breaking down those silos between paid search and SEO. And, we're sharing keyword performance regularly, monthly reports, at least at minimum. But again, we are looking at the ways that where we can try to find inefficiencies in paid and prioritize those through our SEO team, and vice versa organically. It's important. It's important to use both channels as levers, so we're not duplicating our efforts, but we are complementing each other to drive and expand the brand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're staying aligned here. So when we're sharing the keyword insights, it's really helping us identify where we can target terms organically versus through ads, right? And just ensuring the budgets are used effectively. And then, of course, brand presence stays consistent across formats. We talked about that in the webinar a little bit yesterday too, where AI overviews and the other SERP features, are really pushing organic listings further down the page, and that consistency across the board again reinforces the authority with the brands, right? And so with paid and SEO teams working together, it really is just another advantage for brands.
Do you see on the brand side teams are also collapsing, or are we standing as the middle person between the teams? How has that worked? I know on our end, obviously, we're collaborating a lot more now than we had previously, but what about the brand side?
For me, what I'm seeing with brands, really, they're looking for, brands that we're actively working with. We do act as sort of a glue where we can look at all of the metrics together and have a perspective, and really go deeper on, where we're seeing inefficiencies or optimization opportunities in a more positive light, right? Where these things are just having this good synergy across the board. There are some brands where I feel like their team is cross-trained, but that's just a little bit more farther in like few, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think brands, I mean, they're looking for agencies for a holistic view of the entire ecosystem and how one channel plays a role in affecting another channel, and really understanding, where can they improve and where there's opportunities to grow, if it's consumer base or their sales. And having that holistic approach ensures that, again, nothing is missed, and they're not investing so much in one lower funnel or vice versa. They are making sure that they are bringing new consumers into the journey, and they're having them convert, and then having them become loyal members of their brand.
Got it. So closing this one out with one final question, and maybe this is a little bit of an easy one, but historically, Google organic and paid have been separate, right? If there's a conversion in a paid placement, it doesn't support you organically, and vice versa. That's obviously different than marketplaces like Amazon or Walmart, where they're interchangeable. Now that AI overviews are coming in, is there anything changing there, or is it all still separate?
I think eventually it'll be one cohesive channel. again, with paid ads, you're seeing that again, if someone does not, if someone is searching and they're not clicking on a paid ad, Google's recognizing that the search query, the output is not relevant to that consumer, and they will show something different. And so again, I think with the AI mode, it's providing them with additional education and providing them with a clear understanding of what they should be searching for. And then from there, they have a clear understanding when they do another search query, they're ready to make that purchase. They have that education, they have that validation to be ready to have that conversion.
Yeah, I would say like with paid and organic, it's still reported separately, right? But with the AI overviews, that's increasingly going to factor in engagement. Exactly what Brett said, right? If it serves an ad so many times and it's not working, it won't serve to that person anymore. And so, with the AI overviews and how the open web is shifting, I think it's really interesting to watch how you have something like Amazon's Rufus, right, where it's an enclosed environment and how it's incorporating the data. So that may be reflective of how major platforms are going to start building their AI-driven discovery, just blending search and shopping and brand presence together.
Thank you, Lisa. That's a really great point and a good place to end on. Thank you both for joining today. If you are listening in and interested in learning more about specifically the AI piece for SEO, Lisa and I did a great webinar yesterday. We'd love to share that with you. Please just message us or email us or even come into the website. We'd be happy to give you that information. But Brett and Lisa, thanks again for joining.
Nicole, thank you for having me. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Happy to share insights anytime.